Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, My Cake Game. I'm Tasha, and this week we are going to be discussing cake hack number 103, which basically is finding the perfect cake board for any size cake pan. Now we all know that if you're a baker, you automatically know that you can go to Joann's Fabric, you can go to Hobby Lobby, you can go to Michael's, and especially Amazon, and find any size cake board for a 6-inch, a 8-inch, 10-inch, 12. You pretty much get the idea. But there's some cake boards that it's going to be hard for you to find. So for example, this week's project, I'm working with a 9-inch industrial quality pan. Now, a 9-inch cake board is just not something that is going to be readily available to you. You can't just go to Joann's or Michael's or Hobby Lobby. I can tell you that for a fact. I'm in there all the time and find a 9-inch cake board. You have to find a specialty store, which requires shipping and handling and a lot of work. So we're going to get all of that out of the way, and I'm going to make it really easy for you. But before we get into that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications, and please share. It would really help out a small YouTube channel like myself. And like I always say, if you have any suggestions or questions, post them in the comments below and let's get into it. Okay guys, here we have our 9-inch pan, and what we are going to do is measure the bottom of the pan onto the cake board. And here is our 10-inch cake board. But when we do the measurements, we're going to measure it from the cake board upside down, so to speak. And we're just going to set the cake pan on top of it. But before we do that, I want to show you a couple of things. I tend to use an ink pen that I know that will write on this type of material. As such, trust me, it's going to make a difference in the end, because what you don't want to happen is to get pen here, skip a couple of places. You don't want that, because when we go to score it out, we want this to be pristine. So you only need to mark it one time. Now you could use a marker. There's two reasons why I don't use a Sharpie in this case, because it tends to be really thick. And when we're cutting, and I'm going to show you what we're going to cut this with. I'm using a medical grade scalpel, and I actually bought these on Amazon, and they work great with fondant and other baking tools. But when you go to score, are you going to score from the outside or from the inside? You need to make a choice, and you need to make sure that if you start on the outer part of the Sharpie, then you use that all the way around. The other reason why I don't use a Sharpie is because I don't want it to get on my pan. It's just a personal preference. You can use whatever you want. I'm just showing you what I use. So let's get ready to make our line, and then I'll show you guys how to cut this out. Okay, so now that we're back, we're just going to set everything up. And this is what I do. It only takes about 2 minutes, if that. We're going to lay down a skid-proof piece of material. I cut that out myself. I used a cake board as an outline. And we're going to set this here, because once we start to cut, we're going to add a little bit of pressure. We don't want anything to move. Then the next thing we're going to put down is our cake board. And then on top of the cake board, we are going to put another skid proof, because again, we don't want anything moving, right? So we want to have everything in place. So when we are putting pressure, just making sure that everything is nice and centered in the camera so you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. So just bear with me. Okay, that's good. And so when I'm adding pressure, it's not moving. All right, so let's get started. And what I normally will do is just angle in as such. I hope you guys can see this. And I know I said we can go around here just once, but if you take your time And trust me, it only takes a few minutes. If you take your time, you can go around here kind of once you get used to it. You can just kind of go around. And I'm going to show you that you can also turn it and accomplish the same thing. And then you can keep turning it until you've gotten it all done. And we're almost done here. Okay, so we're gonna move that. And now you can see we have a perfect line. So now what we're going to do, actually, I'm just gonna keep all of this still in place. I'm not gonna move it. And now I need to put this here. So now when I'm cutting here, it doesn't move. And I'm going to bring the camera in just a little bit more so you guys can see what I'm actually doing. And we're gonna add a little bit more light so you can see a little bit better. Yeah, perfect. Okay, so we have our scalpel. Grab that. And what I'm going to do is move in a little closer, and all I'm doing is scoring at this point. And I'm going to mark a starting place for me because I'm going to go around lightly one time around. So I'm going to make that puncture. And remember I told you how you can just move it. And I'm going to keep turning it until I'm done. And this is just to score it. Because what you don't want to do is just go in and try to cut it all the way out. Okay, so we've already scored it once, so now we're just going to go back around it and we're going to cut a little deeper. Okay guys, now you see how easy it is to take any size cake pan that you have and turn that cake pan into the perfect size cake board if you don't have one readily available. And as you can see, here's the finished product, nice and perfect. And this is going to work so great for my next project that I cannot wait to show you guys. As always, please hit the subscribe button, turn the notifications on, make sure to share this video. It really helps a small YouTuber like myself. Please watch the entire video, and if you have any suggestions or comments or questions, again, post them below, and I will see you guys next time. And until next time, make sure you get your cake game on, and I'll see you guys later.